Ang isang impeachment case ay minadali at nakasandig sa paghihiganti at pamumulitika ay maihalin tulad sa isang strukturang itinayo sa gilid ng bangin. Bagamat tungkulin o obligasyon natin sa Senado na mag-convene bilang impeachment court, responsibilidad din natin na maging mapanuri at critical sa impeachment complaint na ipinasa rito sa ating bulwagan. As I usher in my 6th year in the Senate, my 39th year in public service, Mr. President, I can say I have gotten better at spotting irony. What we refuse to let happen to our houses, we seem to have allowed our House of Representatives to do in broad daylight, right under our noses, and at the expense of our institution's esteemed reputation. With this, Mr. President, my dear colleagues, allow me to express my serious concerns surrounding the constitutionally unsound foundation of the articles of impeachment that the Senate is set to tackle. Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 2 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution provides that a verified complaint for impeachment may be filed by any member of the House of Representatives or by any citizen upon a resolution of endorsement by any member thereof, which shall be included in the order of business within 10 session days and referred to the proper committee within 3 session days thereafter. Keeping in mind the aforementioned constitutional provision, recall that on December 2, 2024, the first impeachment complaint against Vice President Duterte was filed before the Secretary General of the House of Representatives. The second and third impeachment complaints were filed on December 4, 2024 and December 19, 2024, respectively. These complaints were each endorsed by members of the House of Representatives. While the Constitution requires that a complaint for impeachment must be included in the order of business within 10 session days, the House of Representatives rules of procedure in impeachment proceedings require the Secretary General to immediately refer the complaints to the Speaker. Despite this, no action was ever taken by the House on the 3 impeachment complaints filed. Hindi po ito simpleng pagkalimot, Mr. President. Ito po ay tahasang pagsantabi ng kanilang internal rules at constitutional provision. Sinadya po nila na baliwalain ang konstitusyon. Maliwanag po ito sa mga naging panayam kay House Secretary General Velasco. In media interviews, the Secretary General publicly disclosed that the members of the majority of the House of Representatives asked him to withhold the transmittal of the impeachment complaints to the Speaker. Their goal then was to give themselves more time to decide whether or not to file another impeachment complaint. Pinaghintay po ng mayorya ng House of Representatives ang 3 impeachment complaint. May ganyan po ba silang kapangyarihan? Tila po, ito ay matatawag na grave abuse of discretion. Then, on February 5, 2025, more than 2 months after the first impeachment complaint was filed, the House of Representatives took the express, the fast-track route according to Secretary General Velasco. Kung ang tatlong naunang impeachment complaint ay pinadaan sa EDSA, mukhang sa Skyway po ang piniling landas ng House para sa pang-apat na impeachment complaint para maiuwi ito sa Senado. With less than an hour before the close of session of that day, the House of Representatives transmitted to the Senate a verified complaint for impeachment against Vice President Sara Z. Duterte, purportedly signed by 215 members of the House of Representatives. My honored colleagues, had the House complied with their own rules and the Constitution, the three previous impeachment complaints would have been referred to the appropriate committee by the time the present impeachment complaint was filed and sponsored by the members of the House of Representatives. In other words, Your Honors, the intentional inaction of the House of Representatives allowed its members to purportedly circumvent the one-year ban enshrined in Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 5 of the Constitution. Given the glaring circumvention of the Constitution, should we allow impeachment complaints which are constitutionally infirm to be heard and tried by this body? Kung defective po ang foundation ng impeachment complaint, marirepair o marirehabilitate ba ito ng pag-convene ng impeachment court? Hindi po ba mawawala ng saysay ang pag-convene ng Senate as an impeachment court kung malinaw na labag sa konstitusyon ang nais nating itayo? Kaya ang impeachment ay isang sensitibong proseso. Sa pagsampa pa lamang nito, binabato na agad ang akusado ng putik na kahit maakwit ay tila habang buhay ng nakamansa sa kanyang pagkatao. Pagkatapos ng impeachment, anuman ang magiging hatol, the damage done to the reputation of the accused will forever be irreparable. He or she will never be the same again. Some of the members of this august body may not agree with me and may take a different view as to whether the one-year ban has been violated by the House of Representatives. To settle this issue, the separate opinion of Chief Justice Renato Espuno in Francisco versus House of Representatives provides this body a direction on the course of action that we may take when confronted with the same issue I laid down. Former Chief Justice Puno said that before the Senate is convened as an impeachment court, the Senate, which has primary jurisdiction over the case, can already decide the question on whether the one-year ban has been violated or not. That is why, insisting ako na ma-deliver ito before we convene as an impeachment court. Hindi po natin kailangang hintayin magbagong anyo ang Senado at maging isang ganap na impeachment court. Ngayon pa lamang ay maaari na nating pagdesisyonan ito. Sumunod ba sa saligang batas at sa internal rules ng mababang kapulungan ang impeachment complaint na kanilang ipinasa dito sa Senado? Nasa Senado po ang pagkakataon upang magwasto. Kung minadali ng isuar ang impeachment complaint, bakit kailangan natin itong tumbasan ng kaparihong kawalang pagpapahalaga sa tamang proseso? Madalas po natin sabihin, dito sa ating kapulungan, we are men and women of rules. Manatili po tayong ganon. malayo mula sa ingay at impluensya ng kung sino mang may mga personal na interes at pakinabang sa pagmamadaling ipinipilit sa atin. Mr. President, the inaction of the House of Representatives resulted not only in a possible violation of the Constitution, but in another justiciable controversy. It is worthy to note that its new Congress, empowered by a fresh electoral mandate in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, is not bound by the legislative actions of its predecessors. Hindi po natin maaring pilitin ang mga papalit sa atin sa future Congresses na ipagpatuloy ang anumang ating nasimulan. Sabi nga po ni President Chis Escudero kahapon, the Congress cannot pass an irrepealable law. Lahat ay pwedeng baguhin at galawin ng mga sumusunod na mahahalal sa Kongreso. Maari pong hindi sila gumalaw at hayaan lamang na nakatiwangwang ang anumang proceeding na sinisimulan ng mga nauna. When the fourth impeachment complaint was submitted, the 19th Congress was teetering on the brink of a long slumber. The Senate is now being urged to convene with only 2 session days, 20 days remaining before the 19th Congress closes. Hindi man po ako abogado, alam ko pong walang kaso, mapasibil, administrative o kriminal na dinidinig sa loob lamang ng isang buwan. Naghihingalo na po ang buhay ng 19th Congress. Bakit po natin ipipilit pa kung ang pintuan ng 20th Congress ay malapit nang magbukas? Malinaw naman po sa ating Rules of Procedure on Impeachment Trials, kailangang isumon ang person impeached para paharapin sa Senado. Kailangan din siyang bigyan ng 10 araw para mag-submit ng kanyang answer. 5 araw naman ang ibinibigay sa mga prosecutor para mag-file ng kanilang reply. Kaya po, kahit mag-convene ng impeachment court, bukas, summon at pagtanggap lamang sa pleadings ang kayang magawa ng 19th Congress. Sigurado na po tayo na ang trial kasama ang pagrepresenta ng ebidensya ay magaganap sa 20th Congress, kung saan bago na po ang komposisyon ng Senado at mababang kapuluan. Because of the change in members, questions are being raised on the jurisdiction of the 20th Congress to carry on with an impeachment trial commenced in the previous Congress. Should the 19th Congress convene an impeachment court, what assurance exists that the 20th Congress would continue the trial? Without such assurance, any efforts by the 19th Congress would constitute a significant waste of government resources. Even the authority of the House of Representatives to continue prosecuting is being questioned since the said complaint was filed by a House of a different composition. In fact, some of those who signed the complaint failed to secure a seat in Congress in the recently concluded elections. Mukhang kailangan po natin ng positive act from the 20th Congress House of Representatives na kanilang itutuloy ang impeachment complaint na ginawa ng 19th Congress House of Representatives. Mr. President, the constitutionally given power and mandate of the Senate to try and decide all cases of impeachment is an immense responsibility that must be exercised in good faith with sincere intention to fulfill a solemn oath, not with haste, but with careful circumspection, mindful of both the political and legal nature of the exercise. Ang impeachment ay isang proseso na hindi lamang mag-aalis sa pwesto ng isang mataas na opisyal ng pamahalaan. Ito ay isang armas laban sa sinuman na hindi umaayon sa kagustuhan at mga interes ng mga kaaway sa politika. Ito ay apoy na hindi lamang nakapapasok, kundi may kakayahan na tupukin at sunugin hindi lamang ang isang bahay, kundi isang buong komunidad. Mapanganib ang impeachment sa kamay ng mga mapagsamantala. Inilalagay ang impeachment para protektahan ang taong bayan, hindi isakdal at hiyain ang kumakatawan sa kanila. In the 2012 case of Chief Justice Renato C. Corona versus Senate of the Philippines, the Supreme Court declared impeachment, described as the most formidable weapon in the arsenal of democracy, was foreseen as creating divisions, partialities, and enmities, or highlighting pre-existing factions, with the greatest danger that the decision will be regulated more by the comparative strength of parties than by the real demonstrations of innocence or guilt. The House of Representatives, in transmitting the articles of impeachment to the Senate at the last hour and after refusing to act for over 2 months on 3 previously filed complaints pending with the House Secretary General, has instead placed the Senate in a tight and impaired position where any decision, action, or inaction on its part will be put into question. An acquittal, conviction, or even the propriety of proceeding with trial will be hounded not only by legal or constitutional questions, but by accusations of extreme bias, partiality, and lack of sufficient deliberation. Lagi kong sinasabi, Mr. President, hindi ako abogado. Nevertheless, this cannot disqualify me from speaking against possible constitutional blunders. Hindi kailangan maging engineer para masabi ng isang tao na unlivable at hindi ligtas ang isang bahay o building. Alam nyo, alam natin, kung kailan matibay at pulido ang pagkakagawa, katulad ng isang bahay na bato. Alam din natin kung kailan hindi. When the floor starts to crack, when the walls begin to shift, and when leaks appear where there should be none, there and then, Mr. President, there and then, forthwith, we say, this was not built well. Gayon din sana sa impeachment case na ito. The cracks and holes have begun to show. Alam nating may mga tanong na hindi pa nasasagot, lalo na patungkol sa constitutional soundness ng nasabing impeachment complaint. It is my humble opinion then, Mr. President, that with this knowledge must come swift and intelligent action. Kung gaano natin kabilis i-condemn at ipagiba ang mga strukturang hindi ginawa ng maayos, ganoon din dapat tayo kabilis umaksyon kung ang nalalagay sa alanganin ay ang ating konstitusyon. In the spirit of true action, therefore, allow me to end by moving. I respectfully move that in view of its constitutional infirmities and questions on the jurisdiction and authority of the 20th Congress. The verified impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte be dismissed. Mr. President, since I have still the floor, I would like to call Senator Bongo. Mr. President.
Mr. President, will the good gentleman yield the floor for a few remarks as part of the privilege hour availed by Senator De La Rosa?
Yes, Mr. President, no problem with me. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, I agree with the speech of Senator Bato De La Rosa. Ang gusto nating kalabasan ng paglilitis na ito ay hustisya.
Senator Go, before you proceed, Chair has not yet recognized you. Session is suspended.
And under the constitutional framework, the Senate assumes a distinct and separate function when acting on impeachment court. Please don't get me wrong, Mr. President. In fact, a lot of the statements made by Senator Bato de la Rosa, I share. I share the sentiments, Mr. President. In fact, Mr. President, when the impeachment case was filed or the articles of impeachment were transmitted here in the Senate an hour before we adjourned, Mr. President, before our break, a week after, more than 380 pages, Mr. President, of annexes ang dumating po, Mr. President. So, dun pa lang, Mr. President, I agree with Senator Bato's statement na somehow minadali or tignan natin. But again, Mr. President, my only concern here is that we have not yet convened as an impeachment court. We can probably dismiss this or even entertain the motion if we are already acting as an impeachment court. Let me go to my other point, Mr. President. The Senate lacks the power to dismiss an impeachment complaint and has no constitutional duty to proceed to trial. And that's why, Mr. President, if you recall yesterday, this representation mentioned that notices are very important when the minority leader made a motion yesterday that he wanted to stop our legislative work and proceed with the convening of the impeachment court. And he made mention about the calendar of activities, kung kailan magsisimula, ano yung timelines, etc., Mr. President. And that's why I objected again, Mr. President. So in the name of consistency, Mr. President, let me again state for the record, the power of initial determination belongs solely to the House of Representatives. You and I, Mr. President, were members of the House for quite a long time. And we talk about it all the time, that it is the sole power of the House to determine kung yung impeachment or articles of impeachment na itatransmit sa Senado ay merong required votes, etc., etc., at ang tanging sole authority naman ng Senado is to act as an impeachment court, not, Mr. President, not as a gatekeeper of the complaint's sufficiency. Further, Mr. President, it bears emphasis that the framers of the Constitution intended a clear division of roles. House initiates and the Senate tries and decides. Again, Mr. President, I am not even going to say whether or not I will support the motion of our dear colleague, Senator Bato de la Rosa. I'm just saying, Mr. President, that it should be post, Mr. President, in the impeachment court. Last but not the least, Mr. President, the Senate as a legislative body, or even when it sits as an impeachment court, Mr. President, ito po yung ating posisyon, may not dismiss the impeachment complaint due to change of Congress. Impeachment, Mr. President, is a political discretion. It's not a political discretion, but a constitutional mechanism rooted in the principle that public office is a public trust. Alam na po natin lahat yan bilang mga lingkod bayan. Yung sinasaad ng 87 Constitution, which provides public office, is a public trust. Public officers and employees must at all times be accountable to the people. This duty, Mr. President, is not suspended, nullified, or extinguished by the expiration of the legislative calendar or the transition to a new Congress. But again, I also believe and support the statements made a while ago by Senator Bato de la Rosa. Yung pong functus officius ng Senado, hindi ho applicable sa atin dahil kalahati nga ho sa atin dito, magiging party pa rin ng impeachment court, party pa rin ng Senado. Pero doon po sa House, hindi na. So kailangan talaga na malaman natin kung sila'y interesado pa doon sa impeachment na kanilang i-final. Mr. President, just this morning, if I don't know if this morning or last night, I saw an article. I'm not sure if it's Justice Ascuna or Attorney Divina saying that the House must actually do something, whether at least, the very least, is to pass a resolution authorizing, Mr. President, their representatives, their prosecutors, that they are indeed have the blessing of the 20th Congress. Kaya po, muli, Ginoong Pangulo, ang aking pag-object doon po sa motion ng ating kagalang-galang at kaibigan, Senator Bato de la Rosa, ay base po sa mga binanggit ko po na mga reasons. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo.
Before the chair makes a ruling, Senator Bato.
Yes, Mr. President. I just would like to share this august body, the basis for my motion. According to Chief Justice Renato Pono in Francisco versus House of Representatives, a number of things can be done before the Senate is convened as an impeachment court. For example, the Senate, which has the primary jurisdiction over the case, can decide the question of whether the one-year ban has been violated or not. Likewise, the Senate can decide whether the complaint on its face has any legal basis.
Mr. President, if I may.
So as not to belabor the point, Chair would like to state the parliamentary status and make a ruling. Again, to reiterate, Senator Bato, after the end of his privileged speech, made a motion, but before the Chair could act on that motion, he asked for the recognition of Senator Bato, who wanted to second the motion of Senator Bato at the end of his speech. Before the Chair could act on that motion and recognize Senator Bato, Senator Ontiveros and Senator Villanueva signified their intention to speak. Senator Ontiveros made a motion. To suspend further consideration of the matter at hand so that we can proceed to take our oaths. And then Senator Marcos raised the point of order that there are too many pending motions on the floor and that we should dispose of them, as correctly pointed out by her. Senator Villanueva objected to the motion of Senator Bato. With the permission of Senator Villanueva, hindi ko po ituturing na objection yung inyong sinabi dahil ayon mismo sa inyo, hindi naman kayo tutol doon sa motion ni Senator Bato, kanya lamang. Gusto nyo at sa paniniwala nyo, pwede lamang ito magawa kapag tayo ay isang impeachment court na at hindi bilang isang Senado. Ayon sa authority na kinukot ni Senator Bato, may opinion, may concurring opinion, si dating Chief Justice Puno na pwedeng itong gawin ng Senado. Concurring and dissenting opinion siya sa pagkakaalala ko sa Francisco. With the permission of the gentleman on the floor, the chair is of the considered view that and takes well the position of Senator Villanueva. We will act on the motion of Senator Bato, but as an impeachment court.
Yes.
We cannot act on the motion of Senator Bato unless we take our oaths as members of the impeachment court. Therefore, Once the impeachment court is, after we take our oaths and we convene the impeachment court, Senator Bato can reiterate his motion, Senator Go can then second his motion, if at all, and we will proceed to dispose of such motion after we hear from everyone who wants to speak on the matter.
Mr. President, just to clarify your statement, Mr.
Senator
President.
Villanueva, before I make a ruling.
Yes, Mr. President, you were saying, Mr. President, because the way I look at it, you're saying, Mr. President, that in order for us to dispense with the motion of Senator Bato, we would have to convene?
We would have to convene the impeachment,
impeachment court.
as you said earlier.
Yes, Mr. President, I thank you for that. But in order for us to convene again, Mr. President, and just for the information of our law students and those who wanted to learn from these proceedings, Mr. President, this representation made a statement yesterday that we cannot proceed with the convening of an impeachment court unless we issue notices, Mr. President. And I made mention about it because the minority leader's motion yesterday was to convene and at the same time talk about the calendar of activities, Mr. President. And so I would just like to put that on record, Mr. President, because we are not going to discuss the agenda of the, if we convene the impeachment court. Is that the case, Mr.
The
President?
matters to be discussed requiring notice included the proposed schedule of the
Yes.
impeachment complaint, which needed the presence of the parties. However,
Because if we can do it by ourselves, for example, Mr. President, just approving our rules on impeachment,
However-
issuing summons, we don't need to issue notices. Is that
there's-
correct, Mr. President?
However, there are certain matters that the court can do motu proprio,
Yes.
and it would perhaps include these matters, which is up for the consideration of the court once we convene. So
Thank
again,
you, Mr. President, thank you.
Senator Bato is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would like to counter the statement of Senator Joel Villanueva, Mr. President. You know, as the good Senate President mentioned yesterday, the Senate dismissed the impeachment complaint against Ombudsman Gutierrez after she resigned without convening the impeachment court. Therefore, the Senate, without convening into impeachment court, is not prohibited from dismissing the impeachment case, Mr. President. It's very clear. When you say iba, iba nga kasi nag-resign. Pero still, the capacity or the legality of the action of the Senate not convened as an impeachment court was not questioned. So therefore, considering this case, I think we can do the same, Mr. President.
Mr. President, if I may, Mr. President, this is in reaction, Mr.
With the
President.
permission of the gentlemen who have the floor, Chair will suspend for a few minutes because you will most likely simply engage in a debate because clearly you both have different positions on the matter. Session is suspended. It is the opinion of Senator Villanueva that we can only act on the motion of Senator Bato if we convene if we constitute ourselves and convene as an impeachment court. It is the opinion of Senator Bato that we can act on the matter sitting as a Senate in plenary. While both are considered, while the chair considers both legal and possible and probable, the chair prefers that we convene as an impeachment court first before we act on the motion of Senator Bato, and after we approve the rules, that will be the first item in the agenda of the court after being seconded by Senator Go.
Point of clarification.
Yes, Majority Leader.
With the permission of Senator Bato, would that mean, Mr. President, that the motion pending right now would have to be reiterated before the impeachment trial court by the movant, Mr. President?
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
And
Given the position of the chair, Senator Bato.
Yeah, with the indulgence of the Senate President.
Yes, please.
May I respectfully request that before the ruling is made, or you have made the ruling already, so I therefore object momentarily your ruling because I have to consult my
Session is
My
suspended.
colleague.
Session is suspended for a minute.
okay.